Welcome back, students, to the new session of Chapter 5 of Maths. Let us recall what we studied in the last lecture. First of all, we studied the meaning of geometry. Then we saw that geometry is used since ancient times. Then we studied about Thales, who is the pioneer of the geometry. Then came Euclid, who collected all the knowledge of the geometry in his compilation called the Element. There are 13 chapters in the element, and each chapter is called book. And at the end, we studied that in one of the chapter, that is in a book, there are 23 definitions. Now let us study further. Starting with his definitions, Euclid assumed certain properties. These properties or these assumptions are universal truths and they need not to be proved. So he divided these universal truths in two types: axioms and postulates. Axioms are the universal truths or the assumptions which are related or which are used throughout the mathematics. They are not restricted to geometry only, whereas the postulates are the assumptions or universal truths which are related or used only in geometry. Using his axioms and postulates, he proved many statements, and those statements or assumptions which can be proved are called theorems. So, axioms and postulates are the universal truths which need not require to be proved, whereas the theorems are the statements or the truths which can be proved using these axioms and postulates. So, Euclid's compilation called Elements consists of definitions, axioms, postulates, and proofs, that is, the theorems which can be proved. Some of the axioms of Euclid are: first one, the whole is greater than a part; second one, things which are double to same thing are equal to one another; third, things which are halves of same thing are equal to one another; things which are equal to same thing are equal to one another; things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. If equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. If equals are subtracted from equals, the wholes are equal. Let us see some of the axioms. First one, the whole is always greater than its part. So here you can see a whole rectangle is there, whether it is divided into two equal parts or unequal parts, it is always greater than its part. Similarly, a square is also shown over here. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Here you can see that rectangle is equal to a triangle and square is also equal to a triangle, which means that rectangle and square are equal and they both are equal to the triangle. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Here line segment AB of 10 centimeter is drawn. Now if we draw line segment CD and place over it, and it exactly becomes the same as AB, which means that CD is also 10 centimeter. Since it is coinciding with AB, both are of equal measure. Now let us move to next topic, Euclid's postulates. Euclid gave 5 postulates. Now first postulate, a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any another point. Suppose that you are having 2 points A and B, and if you join these 2 points A and B, you will get a straight line from A to B. If you are joining from B to A, then also you will get a straight line. So a straight line can be drawn from any one point to another. Second postulate, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. A terminated line here means a line segment, and you can extend line segment from both these sides infinitely, indefinitely. So a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Third postulate, a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Suppose you have line segment AB. Now taking the radius equal to AB, if you draw a circle, then you are having a circle with center A and radius AB. This way you can draw a circle with any center and any radius. Fourth postulate, all right angles are equal to one another. Now we know that all the angles of a square are right angle, all the angles of a rectangle are also right angle. So if you take the right angle of a square and right angle of a rectangle, then both are equal. So this way all right angles are equal to one another. Fifth postulate, if a straight line falling on two straight lines make the interior angles on the same side of it taken together is less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of the angles is less than two right angles. Students, you will be finding it very complicated. Let us try to understand it easily. First of all, let us see the example given over here. A straight line PQ falls on AB and CD. So here you can see line AB is there, line CD is there, and straight line PQ is falling on AB and CD. And the interior angles which are formed, the angle 1 and angle 2 are called interior angles. And the sum of these two angles will be less than 180 degree. And lines AB and CD will intersect on left side of PQ. Here you can see that they both are intersecting. If you will extend CD and if you will extend AB, then they both will intersect on left side of PQ. Here you can see that two lines are drawn, AB and BC, and they both are intersecting each other in such a way that 90 degree is formed at angle B. So we have taken two such lines which intersect each other at right angle. Now if a third line, that is AC, is passing through these two lines, then you can see that the angle which is formed over here is 69 degree. And if we take sum of this angle A and angle B, it will be 90 plus 69, that is 159, which is less than 180 degree. So if two lines are intersecting each other and third line is passing through them, and if you add the two interior angles formed, then their sum will always be less than 180 degree. Euclid's fifth postulate is mentioned in very complicated way, so it becomes difficult to understand. So there is an postulate which is equivalent version of Euclid's fifth postulate, and it was given by Playfair, which Scottish mathematician John Playfair in 1972, which is known as Playfair's axiom. According to this, for every line L and for every point P not lying on line L, there exists a unique line M passing through P and parallel to line L. So if we are having line L and point P is lying outside the line L, then there exists line M which is passing through point P and parallel to line L. This result can be stated in following form also, that two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to same line. See students, it is very simple. Here you can see that I have drawn line L and I have taken point P outside line L, means point P is not lying on line L, and I have drawn so many lines passing through point P. But here you can see that all the lines are intersecting to L, but there is only one line M which is not intersecting L. So we can say that a unique line means only one line will pass through point P, which will be parallel to line L. So M is parallel to line L, which means that two distinct intersecting lines can never be parallel to each other. Or if the lines are parallel, they will never intersect each other. Now let us see some of the examples based on Euclid's postulates and axioms. If a point C lies between two points A and B such that AC is equal to BC, then prove that AC is equal to half of AB. Explain by drawing the figure. So here it is given that C is lying between A and B in such a way that AC and BC are equal. So you can see the diagram. Now AC is equal to BC is given. Now we will use the axiom, if equals are added to equal, then whole are equal, means on both sides we will add AC. So we will get AC plus AC is equal to BC plus AC. AC plus AC is 2AC, and BC plus AC, if you see in the diagram, it becomes AB. So AC is equal to half of AB. So it is proved by using Euclid's axiom. If equals are added to equal, then whole are equal. So in the last question, C was midpoint of AB. Now we have to prove that every line segment has one and only one midpoint. So let us consider line segment AB having two midpoints, C and D. Now from the above example, we can write AC is equal to half of AB, and AD is equal to half of AB, since C and D are considered as two midpoints. Now, from 1 and 2, we have AD minus AC is equal to half of AB minus half of AB. It means that we have subtracted both the equations. Now, half of AB will get cancelled, so it is equal to 0. So, AD minus AC is equal to 0. AD minus AC, you can see in the diagram, it is equal to CD. That is CD, distance CD is equal to 0, which means that there is no distance between points C and D. Means C and D are coinciding each other, which means that C and D are same points. Thus, every line segment has one and only one midpoint. Next question. In the figure given below, if AC is equal to BD, then prove that AB is equal to CD. Now here it is given that AC is equal to BD. Since point B lies between A and C, we can write that AC is equal to AB plus BC, right? And C is lying between B and D. So what we can write? BC plus CD is equal to BD. Now from equation 1, 2 and 3, we can write as AB plus BC is equal to CD plus BC. Why? Because AC is equal to BD. So AB plus BC is equal to CD plus BC. Now, use Euclid's axiom. If equals are subtracted from equal, then remainders are equal. So here subtract BC from both these sides. So we get AB is equal to CD. So this is proved by using Euclid's axiom. And with this, we conclude our chapter. Goodbye, students. Have a good day.